think can at least deserve a shot, get to see where they're at compared to other guys who are also trying out for the league. And overall, it's really, really fun to hang out with the other teams in the other front. Just watch a lot of baseball and narrow it in, see how other guys scout, see how other guys go about and pick a player and try to improve the team.
What have you learned specifically from working with the other teams in the league?
I've learned a lot of different ways to scout. I obviously have my own way, but it's also nice to see how other teams do it, learning the different grade scales that teams use, how they try to depict which guy they want, a clubhouse guy, if they want a guy who's going to be more of a every hitter. It's a lot of that. Getting to get to know the tryout players before you draft them and getting to know how they are as a person, what they do in the offseason, what they do in the free time is huge.
So what did you get to know about Robert Pitts that made you like him enough to pick him?
I really liked the way he played, the way he carried himself. It looked really, really good. Heck of an arm, great bat. Very nice guy when I talked to him, and heard great things about him from UCR, and know that he's got a relationship with Troy Percival as well. I thought it would be a perfect fit.
And that's become the pipeline. UC Riverside Highlanders, Long Beach Coast. What have you liked about the group that you've assembled between now Pitts, Cole Percival, then Anthony Mata, Jackson Bird, Matthew O'Brien, and David Whittle?
Yeah, they're all players. It's a nice thing to know that we have a producing, well-rounded, five-tool, the best thing to think about. And if it wasn't for UCR being able to produce these, then we're at right now.
Hey, maybe not. And just lastly, with the tryout itself, it's not the only one during the course about the mid-season tryout as opposed to any of the preseason or postseason ones.
The mid-season tryout's a little different because it's sped up. The off-season tryouts are usually a 3-day tryout. You see all three days of just games. It's a lot more baseball, but the other big thing is the people who go to those, especially for the team representatives that they have, are usually the managers that show up for the off-season ones. So it's a lot more build their own team versus where you have doubts going to the mid-season one to their managers, to their front office, like a guy. Whereas off-season one, the managers they just make their decision. It's their team.
All right, well, thanks, AJ.
That's not really a side of Pioneer League baseball. I think a lot of fans get to appreciate what goes into selecting these players for their teams, why different coaches trust them with different responsibilities on the field and off. And hearing it from AJ Crapo talking about how you have to find that match of on and off the field personality, what's your reaction to seeing how this team has been built?
Well, I think that when you have a group of guys that sticks with the program from opening day to this point in the season, just into the second half, it really helps a team grow. They can grow together. Sure, you're going to have some downsides. You're going to have some slumps. Something that I experienced with previous teams is that when you have a rotating door, there is no chemistry. Troy Percival knows his people. Troy Percival invited a lot of the Chuckers back, invited some of the Yuba Sutter Freebirds, or rather Yuba Sutter High Wheelers from last year. They know each other, and they've known each other all season. They've gone on these road trips, and it's really starting to show on and off the field.
Absolutely. And Nina, you have a series of articles coming out about the new players on the team, which you can all find at longbeachcoast.com. So when you see different players added to the roster from different walks of life, different backgrounds, but maybe ones who have played together before, how does that influence the rest of the team?
I think such a small world, even though it seems so big, regardless of where they have been in life, they've all either played with each other or played against each other through school or through travel ball, summer ball, through Pioneer League now. And I think just like the guys here are very welcoming and just really want to have that team chemistry, because it is a two-way stream, having these guys who have the secure spots and then these new guys coming in. It's all about just welcoming your guys, your teammates, and this really is a brotherhood for them.
Well, you want to talk about a secure spot in the brotherhood. How about the guy who's been the leadoff man for every single game this season, Eddie Pelk? His on-base streak is up to 54 games. There have only been 54 games in Long Beach Coast history to this point. So what does that add for everyone else?
The Pelk man, as Joey would say, because he always shows up, he always brings it, and that is like the best way to describe him.
The Pelk Man delivers, the walking man walks. Joey, now he's 10 away from the Pioneer League record for free passes in a single season.
And I talked to him last series about that in the Beach Bowl pregame report, talking about, is this a record that is even in the back of your mind when you're going up to the plate, you're showing off your plate discipline. How do you learn plate discipline? And he kind of brushed it off. He said, you know what, I just go up there, I do me, I get on base. That's me. I'm Eddie Pelk, the Pelk Man, and we love him for it.
Yeah, what's that they say in Moneyball? He gets on base.
Just gets on base.
Eddie Pelk, he gets on base. Team leader in on-base percentage and arguably the most consistent hitter in the Pioneer League, given that not a game has passed where he's actually left without reaching base. So, the Pelk Man delivers on the field, and he delivered to us an interview. Take a listen. Hey, Eddie. I don't want to jinx anything, but I feel like we've talked about the on-base streak enough that any jinxes would have happened by now. Do you believe in those?
I do not believe in any jinxes, no.
So what's working for you to reach base every single game?
I'm just trying to do my job, man. I mean, we have such a great group of guys and great coaches, and it's easy to come out here. They give me confidence to just do my job, and I'm just trying to get on for the lineup behind me.
Who would you say is the best motivator in that coaching staff?
It's hard to pick out one, man. I mean, they're all so great. So I mean, they all are, so fundamental in just us being better baseball players. So I can't pick one.
And most guys throughout the season, they go through peaks and valleys where they're tweaking different things in their swing, but we haven't seen something like that for you. So what have you been working on to stay so consistent?
I think just putting up great at bats, right? Seeing a ton of pitches and put the ball in play, and staying with my approach.
And that approach, has that changed year to year, or is that something that you've basically had since, college, high school? When?
I think it's just been something that I've cultivated over time. I think, baseball is so much more mental than it is physical at times. So just staying locked in with, just trying to hit the ball the other way and get on base, it's a good approach.
Let's talk about the mental side, studying the Oakland Ballers. This is a team that you've seen a lot already this season. What changes game to game against a familiar opponent?
I don't think anything really changes. I think we've executed our plan so well, and numerous times that we've played them. So I think it's just about going out and executing our brand of baseball.
And what is the brand of baseball for the Long Beach Coast?
Winning games, man. Winning games.
Winning games. That's Eddie Pelk. Thank you so much.
Winning games sounds like a pretty good philosophy for a Long Beach Coast team that has done exactly that at 32 games above 500 on a winning streak of 10 games, the second double-figure winning streak of the season. Jesse Cook with you next to Joey Miller. And Joey, now the team can also extend to a season-best 8-game winning streak at home. You're taking on the Ballers at Blair Field again.
You mentioned 32 games above 500. It's the same amount of losses that Oakland has now. 10 losses below 500 for the reigning 2025 Pioneer League champions. This is not the start that they expected. They did bring in a couple of those guys from the 2025 roster. Some have left. Davis Druick was one of the stars towards that momentum that pushed them over the Idaho Falls Chuckers. Now, you look at the Long Beach Coast. A lot of those Chuckers are here in Long Beach playing against the team that beat them 3-5. And now it seems like the script has flipped. 15 games in, 12 wins for the Long Beach Coast. Absolute dominance over their last 8 matchups. They're on an 8-game win streak over Oakland. And, you know, something interesting that we've talked about, Raimondi in Oakland provides a lot of home runs, provides a lot of runs. That is where Oakland finds a lot of success. That's where Long Beach found a lot of success early in this season. Right now, they have played 6 games here at Blair Field, this NoCal-SoCal matchup, and the run differential here for Long Beach is better than it was for the 9 games in Raimondi. 30-plus 32 run differential here in Blair for those 6 games, plus 24 in Oakland. So right now, they have no problem scoring runs in any ballpark, but it's so interesting to see at this ballpark, a ballpark that does not give as many home runs, that we see power hitters like Cooper Vest having only hit 1 home run here in his many games played here at Blair Field. And, you know, when you talk about home runs, you have to talk about Jack Martin. He has given up the most home runs out of any pitcher on this roster, 9 home runs, including 4 to Oakland. He's going to make his 5th start against Oakland this afternoon. But he's on back-to-back wins, including one most recently against Oakland. That was last week. That was what kicked off that 3-game set that started the second half, in which the Coast are now perfect, 6-0. On the other side, the Ballers are 0-6. And now, stepping up to the plate here to lead things off is Isai Santos. Traditionally, we saw Tremaine Cobb in these games, but we saw last series he went down with a bit of an injury, and now he's on the injured list. Isai Santos gets bumped up a spot. The first pitch to the lefty is in there for strike 1. This lineup for the Oakland Ballers that kicks off this game at 6:34 p.m. Pacific time. 6 lefties, 5 traditional lefties, 1 switch hitter of the starting 9. The next pitch misses on the fastball for ball 1. A couple of fastballs and a 1-1 count for Martin working from the full. Third pitch, fouled back behind home plate for strike 2. Isai Santos only 1 hit in 13 at-bats last series. He'll be followed by Jaden Kalura and Jake Allgaier, that switch hitter, the third baseman. Get you the rest of that lineup here after this pitch. Here's the 1-2. This one tapped foul behind home plate to the backstop. In the middle 3, it's going to be Jeter Ibarra, their power-hitting lefty. 22 home runs on the season, leading the Pioneer League. Then Noah Blythe, the first righty that Jack Martin, the righty on the mound, will face. Tristan Moore making his pro debut out of the Division II Point Loma Nazarene College just south of here. Next pitch, fouled back to the screen once more. 3 straight foul balls and still a 1-2 count. Then that lineup finishes out with Paul Winland, the former Long Beach Coaster, Nick Leahy, and Brendan O'Sullivan, who just got his first professional home run on Sunday, where they got swept by Modesto in their own home ballpark. Next pitch is a breaking ball that evens up the count at 2 apiece. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you're tuned in from. I'm Joey Miller. Alongside me, Jesse Cook. Here's the 2-2. Popped up down the third baseline. Easton Jones tries to stare it out of the sun, but it goes over the net for another foul ball. That is now 7 pitches into this very first at-bat of this ball game. It's taken 2 minutes thus far from first pitch to where we are now. Bright sun in the sky for the majority of the defenders. There's a called ball on the off speed, high and inside for a 3-2 count. The ump crew, Joe Shields behind home, Brandon Hastings at third, Scott Ginger at first. Now the next pitch is hit into right center. Emilio Corona ranges over and in for out number 1. Let's tell you about the defensive alignment. It's going to be Eddie Pelk in left, Emilio Corona, as we mentioned, in center, and a new face for the Long Beach Coast. Robert Pitts making his professional debut and his first start in right field in absence of Matthew Bardowell, who has hit the IL after a pitch hit him square in the dome just last series against the Freebirds. Jaden Kalura now to the plate. With 1 out, he takes strike 1 to kick him off. Around the infield, it's Easton Jones, who is also a newbie. Made his professional debut on Sunday in one plate appearance where he walked in the 8th, the inning in which he came in defensively. There's another called strike on the catcher, Jaden Kalura, for the Oakland Ballers. Patrick Roach, Jacob Jablonski working up the middle. Cuba Bess will be at first. Johnny Pappas catching Jack Martin. Now you're all caught up for this top of the first. Here's the 0-2 to Kalura. Misses inside for ball 1. Kalura last series, 2 for 10, a couple of RBI, 2 strikeouts and a walk. He's 3 for 15 in the 5 games played prior here at Blair Field. Now the 1-2. Fouled back to the third base side of the net, right around where Jake Allgaier stands. He'll be batting from the left side. The switch hitting third baseman. 1-2 count. Jack Martin already working up his pitch count. This one sent in the air towards left field. Pelk giving chase and makes the grab on the run, heading on to the warning track there for out number 2. Now Jake Allgaier to the plate, the third baseman. Last series went 3 for 8, 6 free bases in last series last week that kicked off the second half of the 2026 Pioneer League campaign. 5 walks and a hit by pitch is what he took as he takes the first pitch for strike 1. Fastball at 91, right at the knees. Allgaier puts his black bat out in front of him and takes a hefty hack at the next pitch on the 93 miles per hour fastball. Jack Martin ramping up the velo right now. Time is called by the third baseman. Just needs to stretch out right now as he's behind 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the first. Martin back in the wind. Here's the 0-2. Misses inside for ball 1. Known for his plate discipline, particularly here at Blair Field, where he's taken 8 walks, 5 of which, as we mentioned in the last series. Fouls the next pitch back to the screen. Martin doing an excellent job getting ahead of counts. Right off the bat, we saw how quick Matthew O'Brien worked through Sunday's contest, where he faced 25 batters in his 7 1/3 innings pitched, only allowed 5 on. This one off the end of Allgaier's bat. It's over the third base net. 1-2 count still. 16 in his 40 at-bats against Long Beach on the season in total. And in all of those plate appearances, he's taken 19 walks. Takes a pitch inside that hits him on the elbow. So there's another free base for Jake Allgaier and the first base runner of the game. 91 mile per hour fastball, just a little too far inside, clips him. Jack Martin, last time he was on the mound against these Oakland Ballers, he gave up a season-high 4 walks. Though he was scoreless through his first 4 innings, he gave up 3 hits and 2 of those 4 walks just last week, a week ago today. There's a called strike to Jeter Ibarra, the power hitting first baseman for Aaron Miles and his reigning champion Oakland Ballers. 0-1, a hard line drive into right field. That's going to fall in there for the first hit of the game. Going first to third is Allgaier. He was off on the crack of the bat. So now runners at the corners for the Ballers with 2 outs. Brings up Noah Blythe, the right fielder today. For Jeter Ibarra, that is his 25th hit in 65 at-bats against the Long Beach Coast this season. He has dominated Long Beach pitchers. Noah Blythe was 4 for 13 the last time we saw him here at Blair Field. Foul tip into the glove of Pappas for strike 1. But the most impressive thing that we saw of him in those 13 at-bats, 0 strikeouts. If he's going to get out, it's going to be off of his bat somehow. The 0-1. Check swing and a miss. Goes around on the fastball outside that he was hesitant to go and chase. Another 2-strike count with 2 outs, but this time a runner in scoring position. Allgaier at third, Jeter Ibarra at first, no score. Here in the top of the first, here's the 0-2. Misses high and outside. Again, tried to get him to chase there, but sends him into another 1-2 count on the first righty he faces today. 7 for 22 here at Blair Field. And of those 22 at-bats, only 1 strikeout in his 5 games played here. 1-2 off the end of his bat into shallow right field. Pitts comes in and makes the grab for out number 3. That leaves 2 stranded, 2 base runners aboard, but Jack Martin starts this game off with a 0. Now the Coast Bats will get to work in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on the Coast Media Network. Bottom of the first. Jack Martin puts up a 0. Now Hunter Day, the starter for the Oakland Ballers, will look to do the same. Facing off against Eddie Pelk, then Patrick Roche and Cooper Vest to start off the Coast offense. And the first pitch to Eddie Pelk misses outside for ball 1. Hunter Day, his second appearance against these Long Beach Coast. Pitched here at Blair Field just last Wednesday. Next pitch sails over the plate for strike 1. It's his 5th start of the season in his 2nd professional season, fresh out of the American Association. This one a line drive through into right center, rolling towards the gap. That'll be extra bases for Eddie Pelk, who chugs his way along to second. That's a leadoff double for the Pelk man. Now 55 straight games. The on-base streak continues.
And if you tuned into our beach ball pregame report, you heard a very humble answer out of him for how does he stay so consistent, and that is just to keep doing what he's doing. And there he keeps his bat low, keeps his shoulders high, swings with his hips first, and does everything that your Little League coaches tell you to do. He says he hasn't really changed up his swing since even high school.
He starts off his second half of the season 10 for 25, and get this, 6 of those 10 are doubles. Also a home run included in that. And now Patrick Roche to the plate, who's been on a bit of a tear as of late as well. He takes strike one outside on the changeup. Hunter Day is a changeup dominant pitcher ranging around 82 to 88. He does have a couple of fastballs. This one right back up the middle and through for a base hit. Eddie Pelk being rounded third. And that's going to score the first run of the ball game. The Coast on top 1-0. Patrick Roche extends his hit streak to 10 now. His 12th hit of the homestand.
And now he's 6 for his last 10. Really strong stuff from the Boston College product, who's kept a level bat this entire week and hasn't tried to do too much with it. He's putting the ball on the ground but finding the gap.
Both of these first 2 batsmen for the Coast finding gaps to bring up Cooper Vest. Patrick Roche, this is his 6th game played in the second half. First pitch to Cooper Vest misses low and inside for ball 1. Of those 6 games, there, as we mentioned, has been a hit in every single one of them. Multiple hits in 4 of those 6 now. Potentially 5 tonight if Patrick Roche gets another one. The next pitch misses for ball 2 to Cooper Vest. The only reason he didn't get multiple hits in that extra game, he got on base the very first at-bat, but then he got a little sick. Dylan Lena had to replace him on Saturday night. There's a called strike to Cooper Vest to bring things to a 2-1 count. Cooper Vest, last time he faced off against Hunter Day, he went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The Utah native waits and swings through that next changeup. A 2-2 count for Cooper Vest, who is a perfect 250 on the homestand, 5 for 20. With a home run just last week. Next pitch, pelted out to left field, heading towards the corner. And a nice play there by Moore in left field for out number 1, which brings me to the defensive arrangement for the Oakland Ballers. As we just mentioned, that was Tristan Moore in his professional debut in left field. Isai Santos in center, Noah Blythe in right. Around the horn in the infield, Jake Allgaier at third, Brendan O'Sullivan and Nick Leahy up the middle, Jeter Ibarra at first. Jaden Kalura behind the plate to catch Hunter Day. And now Emilio Corona takes his first at-bat of the second week of the homestand. The runner goes on the first pitch, then misses high, and the throw down is right on the money. Kalura catches Patrick Roche and clears up the base paths for out number 2. A good pitch to run on one of the faster changeups out of the hands of Day. That was high enough in the zone that Kalura was already on his way up. There's a half swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 count, nobody on. 1-0 Coast here in the bottom of the first. Next pitch, a slider, misses outside for ball 2. Corona, a perfect 500 on the homestand in his first week. 8 for 19 with a home run. And he has had quite the plate discipline, as this one is slashed near his hitting coach, Troy Gloss, on the third base side. A 2-2 count. That was kind of the downfall, rather the only negative thing that you could say about Emilio Corona in the first half. He led the team in strikeouts, but since then, since the turn of the second half, he's gotten a lot better. 9 walks in that first week. 2-2 misses high for ball 3. Lays off that chase pitch there. Last series against Oakland, he took 6 of those 9 base on balls. This one on the ground to the right side. Ibarra grabs it, glove side. The righty grabs it with his left hand. Steps on the bag himself. There's out number 3. Patrick Roche, the RBI single, right back up the middle, puts the Coast up first here on this Tuesday night. Now Jack Martin will look for the shutdown inning when we come back on the Coast Media Network. Into the second we go, 1-0. The Coast on top thanks to Patrick Roche and Eddie Pelk going back-to-back in the leadoff spots. Patrick Roche getting the RBI single up the middle to cash in Eddie Pelk. And now Tristan Moore takes his first professional at-bat. Nazarene, the D2. Fresh out of college, the outfielder takes the next pitch outside for ball 1. Making a nice play in left field where he starts off this ball game. The left-handed hitter. .376 batting average just this past year at Point Loma. Takes a hefty swing and a miss at the fastball upstairs. Falls behind 1-2. .710 slug with 17 home runs, 77 RBI in 63 games played at the Division II level. And now challenges himself here with his first professional at-bat. And it goes down as a K as he swipes through that next pitch for the first strikeout on the board for Jack Martin tonight. Out number 1 recorded here in the top of the second. Paul Winland, a very familiar face here at Blair Field for a couple of reasons now. He's played a few games here at Blair Field in the Oakland Threads, but a couple as well in the Coast Threads. The only team that has played, the only batter in this lineup that has played for both teams. There's a swing and a miss. And there have been a few roster changes as of late that we have to talk about. We talked about Easton Jones, a new addition, who's at third base. Pitts in right field, who's making his professional debut today. Next pitch fouled back over the net for strike 2. And with that, unfortunately, means a few cuts. We had to say goodbye to Jalen Edmonds, who just got his first couple of hits since May in the last series against the Freebirds. Sad to see him go. Next pitch, a breaking ball finds the zone, and Winland knew it. That's a backwards K, and back-to-back for Jack Martin. Out number 2 recorded here in the second to bring up Nick Leahy, followed by Brendan O'Sullivan to finish out this lineup for the Oakland Ballers. But Derek LaFerriere, who was on the IL, also had to say goodbye to him today. He heads back up to his home in Lake Tahoe. There's a hefty swing and a miss at the fastball. That was low and outside. A good chase pitch there to start off the righty, Leahy. The second baseman who last series went 2 for 12. Last series against the Long Beach Coast. The 0-1 misses outside. It's a 1-1 count now. So a couple of Tough losses for the clubhouse here. Next pitch fouled back for strike 2, but another UC Riverside product is added, so familiar face, the 4th out of the 2026 UC Riverside roster. Pitts in right field.
And assistant coach A.J. Crapo said that the Highlanders make it easy because they develop 5-tool players.
6 on the roster as of right now. This one heading back towards the warning track in right field. The aforementioned Pitts under it, just about 5 feet shy of the track. Makes the grab for out number 3. A quick 1-2-3 inning and a pair of strikeouts for Jack Martin. Gets the shutdown. We'll send it to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Coast here on the Coast Media Network. Bottom of the second now. Joey Miller, Jesse Cook. 1-0 Long Beach Coast. This is the 5th homestand for the Long Beach Coast in their inaugural season and the start of the second week of yet again another 12-game homestand in 13 days. This kicks off the second half. Right now, the Long Beach Coast 6-0 in the second half after taking the first place pennant in the first. The first pitch to Cuba Bess fouled down the left field line, and Cuba Bess has been instrumental in the early success for this team, leading the team in RBI and home runs, including 3 just last week. As he fouls the next pitch back for an 0-2 count. 7 for 25 is how he starts off the second half of the 2026 campaign, his second season in the Pioneer League. Though with some minor league experience with the Red Sox and the Rockies. Gets this one off the end of his bat, third base net. Still an 0-2 count. 11 RBI in those 7 hits. We mentioned the 3 home runs. A total of 6 extra base hits of those 7 hits, though. This one on the ground to the right side. Ibarra flips it on today. Steps on the first base bag for out number 1. Now another person who has been oh so great for the Long Beach Coast in their inaugural campaign, Jacob Jablonski steps up to the plate, the switch hitting second baseman who made some flashy plays on Sunday, also where he hit a home run, his 15th on the season. It's gone back-to-back in terms of home runs, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, a check swing. He does go around. Says Brandon Hastings at third. It's an 0-1 count. Hunter Day rocks back and fires the next pitch that misses low and inside. Just below the kneecaps there. A 1-1 count. 8 for 24, Jacob Jablonski. 3 home runs just last week. 8 RBI as well. Takes a swing and a miss at the changeup with some downward movement there. I believe that's actually a curveball there. Curveball is kind of flat out of the hands of Hunter Day. That almost looks like a changeup with some late break. Next pitch misses high on the fastball. Hunter Day is not going to hit you with too much velocity. Where he gets you is where the movement, that late movement, shows. And this one down the first baseline, foul for a continued 2-2 count. Last time Jablonski went up against Hunter Day, that was last week, he went 0 for 2 with a backwards K as well. Steps back in the box, the Palmdale, California native. Accepts the 2-2 low on the curveball. Second 3-ball count for Hunter Day, this being his 6th batter faced. Half swing and a miss. Jablonski goes around for the first strikeout on the day for Hunter Day. Brings up Easton Jones, who has recorded a plate appearance in his professional career, but has yet to record his first professional at-bat. This being his second plate appearance, the first of which in a pinch-hitting role, where he came in defensively in the top of the 8th on Sunday, and then walked in the bottom of said 8th inning in the 4-0 shutout that finished out the Yuba Sutter series. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. This being his first professional start, the BYU product, former teammate with Cooper Vest, takes the next pitch, but this time it's a called strike. Change up there. Day goes at it with the 1-1 that misses low and outside. A little bit of a late release there for the Ballers. Right-handed starter. 2-1, misses inside. Back-to-back 3-ball counts. The last of which went in Hunter Day's favor. Bases clear, 2 outs. 1-0 Coast here in the bottom of the 2nd. 3-1, misses in the dirt. Kalura exchanges that baseball, and that's back-to-back walks for each. Inside for ball 1. The numbers will show that last week was a little rough for him. 2 for 15, though he did get 4 RBI. Those 4 RBI coming in the form of those 2 hits. Takes the next pitch for another ball. Back-to-back multi-RBI games, now 4 total in his 32 games played. 2 in the first half, now 2 in the second half already in the first week. The Chino Hills native takes the next pitch inside. It's a late call on a strike there that Pappas challenges. And it's going to be a good one there for Pappas. He knows his strike zone, being behind the plate for many of these games in June and July.
We've seen a good trend of him and Cuba Best both nailing those challenges this season.
Now on the homestand, the Long Beach Coast are 8 for 13 in successful challenge tries. The 3-0 count. Hits for a definitive called strike 1. It's going to be a hitter's count for Johnny Pappas. Last series against Oakland, he went 0 for 6 in his 2 games played, but he did walk 4 times. This one is rolled on the ground to O'Sullivan at short. Takes it the easy way to Leahy at second to get the lead runner for out number 3. Another 0 on the board. The first scoreless full inning sends us to the 3rd. 1-0 Coast here on the Coast Media Network and Home Team Network. Bottom of the third, rather top of the third we go after the first scoreless inning, the first scoreless top and bottom in the second. 1-0 Coast. Brendan O'Sullivan, the last Oakland Baller to have yet to have a plate appearance in this series opener, will face off against Martin and send the first pitch right back into center field with a leadoff single. Second hit on the day for the Ballers, and the first since the first inning. Jack Martin needed 26 pitches to lead 2 stranded in the first. Cut that down to 11 in the second. Now starts off in early trouble with O'Sullivan, who has been on an upward trend. First professional home run on Sunday against Modesto in their series sweep at home back in Raimondi. Now the first pitch to Isai Santos in his second plate appearance. Misses outside on the breaking ball. A 1-0 count. The lefty utility holds his bat far out in front of his face. Takes the next pitch for the same result, a 2-0 count. Though his batting average would indicate that he deserves the leadoff spot. 346 on the season heading into tonight. Next pitch finds the edge of the zone outside, a 2-1 count. Against the Long Beach Coast in his 56 at-bats coming into today. A 179 batting average, far lower than that 346 batting average on the season. Now this one slashed into right field. That's going to up his batting average. It was a hit and run. So O'Sullivan goes first to third. Back-to-back singles is how the third inning gets kicked off here. Jaden Kalura to the plate. 1-0 Coast, but the tying run is just 90 feet away for the Oakland Ballers. We're on a bit of a downhill skid right now to start the second half, 0 for 6, including a series sweep just last week. 0 for their last 8 against the Long Beach Coast. Trying to get some positive momentum at any point in this Tuesday through Thursday series. First pitch is a changeup for a called strike one to Jaden Kalura, who flew out to left field his last time up. Nobody out, runners at first and third. Martin comes set, now delivers from the stretch. Misses outside, some arm side run on that sinker. Rather a changeup there. A 1-1 count. Martin staying cautious right now. Pauses for a moment. Here's the 1-1. In the zone there, and it's going to be challenged by Kalura. First challenge for the Ballers is not going to go the way of the Long Beach Coast's first challenge. That one was entirely in the strike zone. A 1-2 count, and Oakland is 0 for 1 now. They were 5 for 7 the last time they were here last week. Martin has a chance to get his first out of the inning, which would be huge right now with the runner at first. There's a swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball action for his third strikeout of the day. Third batter faced. Sets one down. Double play is in effect now for Jake Allgaier. That could potentially get another 0 on the board for the New Jersey native. Long ways from home. Martin's 10th start of the year for the Coast. Gets a swing and a miss on Jake Allgaier to start him off with a fastball. That one was definitely the sinker. Took a little bit off the velo, but had some outward movement. Great arm side run on his sinker. An 0-1 count. Here's that pitch. Misses a little outside on the same pitch. Jake Allgaier got hit by the pitch. He was the first base runner aboard today with 2 outs in the top of the first. Here we are in the top of the third. 1-0 Long Beach. And runners at the corners. This one popped up high in the air towards shallow left field. Pelk shuffling in. He makes the grab and quickly gets it into his cutoff man, Easton Jones. There's out number 2. Now Jeter Ibarra is the last hope to cash in the first run of the game for the Ballers in the first 3 innings. And they're going to intentionally walk him to load up the bases and push it to Noah Blythe. Potentially a smart move should things go well against Blythe, who ended the top of the first with a fly out to right field. You play the numbers game. Jeter Ibarra, who got a hit in the top of the first, is 25th against the Long Beach Coast. First pitch to Blythe on the ground to Jones, who's going to tag Isai Santos for out number 3 on the fielder's choice. That leaves the bases stranded. And we send it to the bottom of the third. 3 straight zeros on the board for Jack Martin. 1-0, Long Beach Coast. We'll be right back on the Coast Media Network. Bottom of the third now. Jack Martin in his 10th, Allgaier, and quickly out for the first of this bottom of the third on the 5-3. Before I even get a chance to really fully introduce him, we're back to the top of the lineup with Eddie Pelk. Hits, which resulted in that 1 run that is plated for the Long Beach Coast. Last half inning, Jack Martin allowed a couple of base hits, loaded up the bases eventually, but got out of the jam, leaving the bases loaded on a fielder's choice. Keeping a streak of 3 scoreless going, and now there is the first pitch, a strike to Eddie Pelk, who continued his on-base streak to 55. There's a hard hack at an off-speed. He was looking for a heater. Calls for a time. Falling behind 0-2. Six doubles now in his first 25 at-bats of the second half. A home run as well. His slugging percentage through the roof right now for the second half as he fouls this one down the right field line. Now in 55 games played, 46 of them with a hit. Last time he faced off against Day, he went 1 for 2 with a walk. Now has 2 hits off of the righty out of the American Association. Fouls the next pitch back into the net. Still an 0-2 count. Hunter Day out of Minnesota. Spent some time up in the Great North. Fargo Moorhead, the Red Hawks. Follows a breaking ball for ball 1. Eddie Pelk knows what's a strike and what's not. Which is why he has 76 walks to prove that. Rather 76. This one in the air towards left field, and a nice grab there by Moore. Falling to the ground on the warning track to make the grab for out number 2, a web gem for the rookie left fielder in his professional debut. How about that? A couple of nice plays for Tristan Moore. That brings up Patrick Roche. A chance for another clean inning for Hunter Day. The first pitch to Roche. Slider outside to start him off with a ball. He's responsible for the lone run on the board right now. The 1-0 Coast lead here in the bottom of the third. RBI single his last time against Day. Takes another slider outside for ball 2. The only game he did not play in this homestand was the one in which Hunter Day started. This one hammered into right field, heading back towards the warning track, and another great running play by Noah Blythe this time for the F9 that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 for Hunter Day. We're into the middle 3 already. Jesse Cook's going to take you through those. When we come back, it's 1-0 Long Beach Coast on the Coast Media Network.
Fourth on the way, Jack Martin on the bump with a 1-0 lead for Long Beach. The righty pitches to the lefty Tristan Moore and fires in a fastball high and outside for ball 1. Jesse Cook with you next to Joey Miller here at Blair Field on Tuesday night. Moore, the rookie, making his pro debut. Moore swings and drives this one to right field in front of Pitts, who makes the catch. Robert Pitts, two guys making their professional debut. One robbing the other there. Pitts using his speed to catch up with that one. And that brings up Paul Winland. The former coaster is 0 for 1 in this game, striking out looking back in the second inning. Another righty-lefty affair. Martin, the team leader in wins with 5, winds on home. Winland watches the fastball for a strike, lone away. We talked with Paul shortly before first pitch, and he said maybe he faced off with Martin in live at-bats during spring training, but doesn't remember anything substantive. 0-1, he swings and pops it up to the left side and out of play, 0-2 count. Winland currently stands as the only former member of the Coast to rematch against Long Beach, at least among players who appeared in a regular season contest. Martin digging into the first base side. Turns on again, bounces the next one off the dish. 1-2 count to Winland.
There are a couple former coasters just in the mountainous region. J.J. Almeida, Fertile Crescent. You might see J.J. Almeida in the playoffs. Mustangs and the Coast both clinching it in the first half.
Perhaps. 1-2. Fastball high and outside. 2-2 count. And it sounds weird, but that's generally the hope for us, is that we see the guys who the Coast cut later on, because they've all been great guys and we wish the best for them. 2-2. Wendland watches the heater by the knees, but it's just inside for ball 3.
And that's one of the pros and cons of being in our position. We see a lot of people come and go, but we want to keep in touch with all of these players like we have with Wendland.
3-2. He swings and drags that one foul to the right side.
You know, you come across so many great people in our few seasons now in professional baseball, and you always want to see where they go, where they flourish. And right now, Paul Wendland has been flourishing with the Oakland Ballers.
Well, now he's trying to flourish, but he's 0 for 1. The 3-2 again. He swings and pops it foul to the left side, out of play.
Since joining the Ballers, he's had a bump up of his batting average by 57 points heading into this game. This being his 21st game with the Oakland Ballers, 15 with the Coast.
Now he's 292 for a batting average on the season as a whole. Still a full count. 8th pitch of the plate appearance on the way from the windup. He swings and moves us on to pitch number 9, fouling that off to the left side once again.
Slipped a little bit there on his back foot. That was planted, just turned a little bit too much and fell to a knee.
Wendland settles in again at the very back of the left-handed box. High leg kick. He swings and misses. Paul battles, but Jack gets him. 9 pitches for the strikeout. Make that number 3 on the game, rather number 4 on the game. Nick Leahy tunes up here on the right side. He hit the ball hard last time up, lining out to right field. Robert Binns tracking down that one just like he did Tristan Moore's drive to begin this inning. 1-0 Coast. Righty affair, first pitch, swing and miss, low and away. Martin effectively using that slider low and outside. Black glove at the shoulders, here he goes. Fastball at the letters for ball 1 to Leahy. Nick Leahy picked up a 4 for 13 line in the last series a week ago. 1-1. Fastball misses upstairs, 2-1 count. Now 4 for 15 against Long Beach in the second half. Martin from the windup. Swing and a miss. Correction, Leahy now 4 for 14. Martin trying to move him to 4 for 15. Leahy calls time. However, catcher Johnny Pappas just stays in his stance behind the plate. He's sitting on his haunches. Now Leahy drags in next to him. Martin winds up and fires. Misses low and away. Slider dancing outside the zone for back-to-back full counts. Martin had only worked into a 3-2 count to Isai Santos to begin the game. Now in the 4th inning, here he goes again. Swinging a high line drive, center field. Emilio Corona tracking over, slides, and he makes the catch. Emilio Corona fighting the sun, wins the battle for that one, and it's a 1-2-3 frame. Long Beach still leading 1-0 as we move on to the bottom of the 4th on the Home Team Network. 1-0 Long Beach your scores. We move on to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Coast taking their turn at the plate while the Oakland Ballers try to hold them off the board for the third consecutive inning. This game began with back-to-back hits from Eddie Pelk and Patrick Roche. Pelk scoring on a Roche single. Those two ended the last frame, so now it's up to the 3-4-5 segment. And Cooper Vest, Emilio Corona, and Cuba Bess against the right-hander Hunter Day. Vest 0 for 1, flying out to left field. Day crouches and deals, swinging a corkscrew to the left side through the gap for a base hit. Cooper Vest leading off the bottom of the fourth inning with a single the opposite way.
Now his first hit against Hunter Day in 4 at-bats.
And that
went 0 for 2 last time.
And that initial knock brings up Emilio Corona, who ended the last inning with a sliding catch in center field. He ended up robbing second baseman Nick Leahy of what could have been extra bases if that got by him. Righty pitches to righty. Corona swings and foul tips the ball to the right side. 0-1 count. You mentioned what Vest did last time against Hunter Day, but last series against Yuba Sutter, he batted just 3 for 12. Emilio Corona, on the other hand, 4 for 11 against the Freebirds over the weekend, capping Sunday with a 1 for 4 line. Day kicks low. Corona swings, rockets that one over the second baseman Leahy into center field. Vest jogs into second, and there are 2 men on to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 Long Beach. Well, if Emilio Corona has been hitting the ball well, Cuba Bess has been on another planet lately. Sure, just 2 for 11 against Yuba Sutter, but he has been mashing the baseball. He homered against Yuba Sutter. He homered twice against Oakland last week. And guess what? He did it on the same day. Bess homering on July 16th in the third and the fifth inning. Both of them 2-run shots. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. 1-0 Coast. Bottom 4. Righty pitches to lefty. Bess swings and tapers that one to the left side. Foul. 0-1 count. Shadows now creeping entirely across the entirety of Bowl Diamond at Blair Field. Next pitch, fouled off to the backstop. 0-2 count. It was 86 degrees here in Long Beach at first pitch just about an hour ago. Now it's 7:32. It started off at 6:34. Temperatures dropped down to 82. Barely any wind present at the moment. Out of the stretch, he swings, tears it deep to right field. Way back, and there is no doubt. Cuba Betts cannot be stopped. Another home run. His team leading 17th, and it's 4-0 Long Beach. He unloads the bases. A 3-run blast to right field, making it 4-0. And Bess took a 398-foot chunk out of that baseball, tipping it high down the right field line and giving Noah Blythe in right field barely any cause to move. Fourth home run for Cuba Bess over the last 5 games. It brings up the switch-hitting Jacob Jablonski on the left side. First pitch, he watches it high and away for ball 1. And Cuba Bess home runs have been a harbinger of things to come with Jacob Jablonski behind him. Those two went back-to-back against Yuba Sutter. Next pitch, he swings and rocks that one to the right side and foul.
At the beginning of this year, the home run battle was really between just Corona and Bess. But now you got a couple of few new competitors in the game, like Jacob Jablonski.
The 1-1 misses inside off the belt for a 2-1 count. And Jablonski has definitely surged of late. In the month of July, he's hit 5 home runs. 0-1. He cuts and misses over the fastball, low and away. 2-2 count. Another battle for home runs has been between how many Oakland will hit versus allow. Ballers near the top of the standings in both. 2-2 pitch, swiped on and missed up high. So Jablonski is retired for the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-0 Long Beach thanks to Cuba Bess's huge 3-run homer. Easton Jones takes a turn here now. Former college teammate of now current Coast teammate Cooper Vest, like we talked about, for 3 seasons at BYU. Son of a brief big leaguer, Mitch Jones, who played 8 games for the 2009 Dodgers. Righty pitches to righty. Curveball lands for a strike, lone away. Back to Oakland's defense. This team has allowed 123 home runs. That's the most in the league. Next pitch. Cut and a miss from Jones, tying up inside there. Oakland has also hit the second highest number of homers on the season at 104. Long Beach not too far behind now with 97. 0-2 to Jones. He watches the slider miss high and away. 2 professional plate appearances for him and still no at-bats. Walking on Sunday in a pinch hit appearance after subbing in on defense. 0 for 0 now with a walk. Day's next pitch lands low and outside for a 2-2 count. And I'm still reeling about the timetable on Sunday for Jones. He landed at 11:38 in Long Beach, cleared his physical, got out of the Uber about 30 minutes before playing. 2-2, he fends it off to the backstop.
Well, it's a common story here. We've seen a lot of people fresh off the plane. We saw a couple series ago against Yuba Sutter, Isaac Nunez, the leadoff guy, get out of the Uber and ready to lead things off.
2-2, he again keeps himself afloat, knocking that one to the backstop foul. You're right, it definitely is a common theme again across the Pioneer League, but I don't think it ever gets old for these guys. The Orem, Utah native flying in within 2 hours of landing, being in the lineup. The 2-2 misses at the letters for a 3-2 count. Jones out of American Fork High School. The 3-2 pitch, he swings and again fends it off to the back netting. Another foul ball. American Fork has produced a couple of draft picks over the last few years. I know the Texas Rangers just picked up his old high school teammate, Caden Carpenter. Day, glove at his eyes, winds home. Swung on, and you guessed it, another foul tip to the backstop. Tenth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Out of the windup, frozen on the 2-seamer at the belt for strike 3. Jones battles, but it's ultimately sent back the way he came with a backwards K. Still 10 pitches. Not too shabby for your first professional out. Johnny Pappas turns in here, batting on the right side. He grounded into an inning-ending fielder's choice in the second inning. Now with a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to him, a fastball down by the ankles for ball 1. High leg kick. Pappas watches the slider dance eye level for a 2-0 count. Johnny 0 for 6 against Oakland last week. Walked 4 times though. 2-0 pitch. Another 2-seamer at the belt buckle for strike 1 to Pappas. Base is empty, 2 away, bottom 4, ahead by a quartet. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball downstairs. 3-1 count here for the Chino Hills native. Day shakes his head, winds home. Swung on and lasered into left field for a knock. Johnny Pappas keeps the bottom of the fourth inning afloat with a 2-out single, and it brings up another rookie, Robert Pitts. Easton Jones made his first professional start today, first professional appearance on Sunday. For Oakland, it's Tristan Moore making his first professional appearance. Robert Pitts joining in on the rookie fun. Last time up, he swung at the first pitch he saw, grounding out to third. So watch out early here for the LA man. First pitch. Fastball, he lays off. That one's down the middle. 0-1 count. Pitts, a walk-on in 2023 at the University of Michigan. Played his last 2 NCAA seasons at UC Riverside. The 0-1 floats in for a strike high and away. 0-2 count. The 5'10", 170-pound right-handed batter bends in. The 0-2, he lunges and keeps himself alive with a foul pop to the right side. That one landing on the ramp up to the concourse where it's caught in the bar area by an unidentified fan who made that barehanded, reaching over the back shoulder. Pitts waving in on the right side. 0-2 again. He leans back as that's right at his head. 1-2 count. We've already seen some solid defense from Pitts, tracking down some quick and fast-falling fly balls. Now at the plate for the second time. 1-2. He swings, and that one hits off the handle to the right side. Foul. 1-2 count. White batting gloves choked up about 1.5 inches on his all-black bat. Day sets now, crouches, slides in the breaking ball, medium and outside for ball 2. Pitts wearing black sleeves down both of his arms, black socks pulled up just below his knees. Now he settles in again, crowding the plate. The 2-2, he swings, knocks that one hard to third where it's picked by Allgaier, who tosses across to first for out number 3. Cuba Best goes yard to make it a 4-0 ball game for Long Beach as we move on to the top of the 5th with the Cook Quiz on the way and the 9-1-2 segment of the Oakland Order returning with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. Rolling back to Blair Field for the top of the 5th inning, and Long Beach leads 4-0 thanks to first baseman Cuba Bess and his team leading 17th home run of the year, a 3-run shot in the bottom half of the 4th. Jack Martin, the right-hander, pitching to 9-hitter Brendan O'Sullivan, righty to righty. Slider misses low and outside for ball 1. Oakland has threatened with 3 hits. They've stranded 5 base runners across the early going of this game. Martin kicks up high. Swinging a high drive, left field straight away. Eddie Pelk moving back towards the fence. He reaches up and he makes the catch, running into the wall. Eddie Pelk, the everyday leadoff man and outfielder for Long Beach, doesn't hold back, bracing himself against the wall there while making the catch in that tan glove. And now there's one away in the top of the 5th inning. 4-2, what it was over the weekend, talking about California specifically. Now we're wondering about Cali natives. 1-0. Swinging a pop fly, left center field. That one moving further back. Emilio Corona calling for it, and he makes the catch. 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th with a 4-0 Long Beach lead. Better get to the question so you've got time to think about it for the bottom half of this inning. We're wondering which California-born manager acquired the highest number of major league wins. In the first pitch from righty to lefty, Jaden Kalura watching the fastball low and away for a 1-0 count. And this manager also enjoyed a few stints on a few different teams. 1-0. Breaking ball lands inside and high for a 2-0 count. And his playing career and managerial career both were spent largely in the National League. 2-0. Swing and a pop fly, third base side. Easton Jones giving chase, but running out of room as that falls in the kid zone. 2-1 count. You know, if I'm Easton Jones, I'm looking at my fellow rookie out in right field, Robert Pitts, who has made a few running catches and probably feeling a little left out. He's had a few foul balls just sail over his head into the stands. Keeps giving chase. 2-1. Swing and a flare out to short, where it's caught by Patrick Roche. Leans down for that one, and Oakland leans into an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 inning. 4-0 Long Beach, moving on to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Top of the order on the way with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. Halftime in the baseball game in the rear view mirror as we move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-0 Long Beachers score. Eddie Pelk leading off here, and for him it's usually time to get on base. He's reached base now in 55 consecutive contests. Riding on the bump, still Hunter Day. He crouches low and deals to the lefty. That first pitch slider misses off the knees for ball 1. Pelk is 1 for 2 already in this game, leading off the home half with a double, but he flied out to left his last time up. The 1-0. He dances out of the way of another breaking ball, this one over his shoelaces. 2-0 count. We're still playing the Cook quiz. We're wondering, in this California matchup, which California-born manager recorded the highest number of major league wins? The 2-0 misses high and away. It's a 3-0 count. And I will tell you that I bring this up specifically with another UC Riverside addition to the roster, with 6 UC Riverside Highlanders alumni. 3-0 drops in for a strike, 3-1 count to Pelk, because this person was born in Riverside. 3-1 to Pelk, and that's ball 4. The walking man walks. His league-leading 77th walk. He is 9 shy of Evan Scavato's 2025 Pioneer League record for walks in a season of 86. And there are 41 games to spare. If Eddie Pelk keeps up with this pace, a phrase we've uttered a lot this season, then he will find himself north of 130 walks in the Pioneer League campaign. That brings up Patrick Roche batting on the right side. Infield shifted towards third. Day's first pitch, a fastball below the knees for ball 1. And this manager had a big league career as a player as well, in which he enjoyed spending most of his time in both aspects in the National League. 1-0, misses low and inside. Correction, called a strike low and inside. Rather belated call by home plate umpire Joe Shields, who's joined by the crew chief Scott Ginger at first and Brandon Hastings floating between second and third. 1-1. Roche bends with another heater, another strike off the knees. 1-2 count. Roche waving his silvery tan bat at the back of the righty box. Day from the stretch shanks the slider into the left-handed batter's box. 2-2 count. And Joey, I will tell you that this person did win a World Series, also a 3-time Manager of the Year. Day, a heavy breath, sidearms to first. Pelk is back in standing. You do have to keep an eye on Eddie Pelk, although he and Emilio Corona have both been caught a team worst 3 times. They've also stolen a lot of bases. Corona, 24, leads the roster. Eddie Pelk, not too shabby with 8 successful swipes on the. Jake Allgaier, over the last couple innings, has mounted a few snazzy plays, picking the ball out of the dirt to rob the rookie. Robert Pitts of a hit on the backhand, and here on the forehand, he retires both Eddie Pelk and Patrick Roche. That brings up Cooper Vest digging in on the left side. This person also has a Major League son. First pitch to Cooper Vest, he swings and foul tips it to the backstop. So, all-time leader in managerial wins by a California-born person. Joey, who do you think it is?
You mentioned a World Series win. Is it just one?
0-1, Vest bends and watches that one inside for a 1-1 count. Just one as a manager, just one as a player. And he did so with the 1981 Dodgers. 1-1, Vest watches that dance low and outside. This Riverside native, 3-time Manager of the Year. My dad has sent in a guess. Would you like to hear what Benjamin Cook has to say before you give yours?
Yes, because the one guy I had on mind is no longer.
2-1, that's fouled over the back netting. 2-2 count. It is no longer?
Or rather, is no longer a possible option given your hints.
Well, my dad guesses Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
Former Reds manager, did spend a healthy amount of time as a player and a manager in the National League.
Now was Bruce Bochy. You were saying a guy who played in the 80s, a guy who mostly was a manager in the NL, won a World Series.
Again, the 2-2. Vest sends that right back where it came from, up the middle for a base knock. And with 2 outs, there's a man on. Long Beach ahead 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
But yeah, now I'm at a loss. Dusty Baker's a good guess, though.
Is that who you're going with as well, then?
Sure.
Well, you're right. Dusty Baker, 2023 World Series champion in his only managerial stint in the American League. He has won 2,183 games over his 26 years as a manager, wrapping it up with the Houston Astros, also managing before that with the Washington Nationals, Cincinnati Reds, Chicago Cubs, and San Francisco Giants. A Riverside, California native. First pitch to Emilio Corona. The righty swings and sends that one the opposite way. Right center field. That's rolling all the way to the wall. Cooper Vest around second. Oh, he torches third. Here he comes. Corona around second. Going for his league-leading 6th triple. He dives head first. Vest scores, and it's 5-0 Long Beach. Bottom of the 5th inning. And Emilio Corona gets it done the long way. That team-leading 6th triple to the right center field gap gives manager Aaron Miles for Oakland a cause to point off to the bullpen. With a left-hander running out of the gate, we'll update you on the fresh arm for the Bees when we return with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. Rolling back to Blair Field with a 5-0 Coast lead. Emilio Corona tacking on the last run with a triple the opposite way. He's waiting on third base for the left-handed hitting Cuba Bess, who went yard last time up. And now he gets to do so against someone making his Pioneer League debut in the lefty Tyler Bates. He winds home. First pitch, a curveball high and inside. 1-0 count to Bess. And Bates last appeared in the Pecos League with the Trinidad Triggers, which also produced Coast left-hander Garrett Vandeventer. High leg kick. Bess checks his swing at the fastball up by his hands. 2-0 count. Today's starter for Long Beach, Jack Martin. Last year pitched in Bakersfield in the Pecos League with the Bakersfield Train Robbers. 2-0. Bess swings and flips that foul to the left side. 2-1 count. Bates, a product of a junior college at Connors State in Arkansas, and then Henderson State in Nevada, a D2 school where he pitched this past 2026 college season for a whopping 19 games with a 6.33 ERA. Tan glove at the shoulders, here it is. Curveball loops inside and low. Corona taking a greedy lead off of third base, staring as that ball bounced a little bit away from Jaden Kalura, the catcher, but he holds up where he is. No sense in risking anything with the team leader in home runs, Cuba Bess at the plate. 17 under his belt now. Next pitch, a fastball that hits the outside corner, low and away. Full count. Payoff. He swings. Tags that one to left field on the ground. Emilio. First pitch to Jablonski. Checks a swing at a fastball down by his ankles for ball one. Bess leading the team with 78 RBIs on the year, including his 4 already today. 1-0 count. Bates nods. Stares at first. Turns home. Backdoor curve lands for a strike high and away. 1-1 count. The 5'10 left-hander, Bates, pitching from the third base side. Dealing against the 6'2" switch-hitting infielder. Here he goes. Jablonski leans back as the two-seamer eats inside and high for ball 2. Jablonski wearing his baby blue arm sleeve on the right side underneath equally colored batting gloves. The 2-1. He swings and jogs that one to the left side foul. Right over towards the Oakland dugout where it's barehanded by, I believe that was, I believe that was Jaden Kalura. No, sorry, the designated hitter Paul Winland grabbing it. 2-2 count. We should recognize him by now. He spent half the season so far in Long Beach. 2-2, dribbled out to short, fielded on a hop by O'Sullivan. He throws to first for the out. Long Beach scores 2 on a Cooper Vest single, scoring on Emilio Corona's triple, and Cuba Bess bringing home Corona on another hit. We move on to the top of the 6th inning, 3-4-5, and Allgaier, Ibarra, and Blythe due up for Oakland when we return on the Home Team Network. ringing the phone and calling the bullpen. We move on to the top of the 6th inning. Long Beach in the field, leading 6-0 over the Oakland Ballers. Jake Dixon, the left-hander, subs in for the first relief appearance of the series. Dixon replacing Jack Martin after his second appearance without an earned run. First totally scoreless, going 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, striking out 4. Dixon's first pitch winds outside and low to the right-handed hitting Jake Allgaier for ball 1. Dixon enters his 25th appearance with a .607 earned run average. The offense has given him a cushion with 5 runs over the last 2 innings. He kicks up high. Allgaier watches the breaking ball for a strike high and away, 1-1 count. Long Beach scoring in the opening frame, going silent for the second and third. Cuba Best brought home 3 in the 4th on a home run. He singles home Emilio Corona after his RBI triple for the 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. 1-1, swinging a high drive down the right field line. Tracking over, Pitts in the corner. He overruns it, and it's on the warning track by him. Allgaier into second. Pitts scrambles to his feet and hustles the ball back to the infield. Allgaier reaching on a double into the right field corner there with nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. 6-0 Long Beach. It is the professional debut for Robert Pitts, although he played at Blair Field a couple of times in college for UC Riverside, still learning the pro dirt. That brings up Jeter Ibarra. He has yet to be retired in this game, although last time up, Long Beach didn't even take a chance on him. The Coast just intentionally walked him to load the bases with 2 away, and it paid off, recording the final out. Dixon steps off the mound and looks Allgaier back to second base. Ibarra 1 for 1 in this ball game. He enters the series with a .351 batting average, playing in all besides 1 game this year. Lefty-lefty affair. Dixon kicks high, sidearms home, the sinker for strike 1 at the knees. 0-1 count. Ibarra's yellow batting glove sitting at the base of his all-black bat. Wave over his back shoulder. 0-1 pitch. Copy and paste for strike 2. Ibarra still keeps that bat in check. San Jose native at the plate in Ibarra. Dixon settles in, glances at second, now the 0-2. Swing and a lunging miss at the slider in the dirt. Ibarra tagged out by catcher Johnny Pappas for strike 3. 1 away, runner on second, top of the 6th inning, 6-0 Long Beach. And here comes Noah Blythe after that fearsome left-handed bat. Winds his way back to the dugout. Blythe 0 for 2 in this game. That makes him 4 for 15 against Long Beach in the second half. Lefty pitching to a righty. Out of the stretch, swinging a lace to right field. Pitts chasing in for this one, and he makes the catch at the chest, immediately hurling the ball back to second base, where Patrick Roche leaps for it to try to apply the tag to the standing Allgaier, but he is back in safely. 2 away, top of the 6th inning. The rookie in his pro debut getting the job done in right field. 6-0 Long Beach still your score, and here comes another player in his professional debut, Tristan Moore. 0 for 2, and last time up he lined out to Pitts in right field. Jake Dixon keeping this inning on the shorter side so far, just 7 tosses under his belt. Looks on home. Misses downstairs on that sinker, 1-0 count. Dixon enjoyed 4 consecutive appearances without an earned run allowed up until his last time out against Yuba Sutter on Saturday, when he struggled, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits in just a third of an inning. But here he is trying to rebound. 2 outs already out of the way. His 1-0 misses low and outside. 2-0 count. The 25-year-old Dixon spent parts of 2024 and 2025 in the Frontier League with the Ottawa Titans. But this is his second Pioneer League campaign after finishing last year with Troy Percival's group in Idaho Falls. The 2-0. Sinker drops in for a strike at the thighs down the middle. 2-1 count. Now Troy Percival, his manager here with the LBC, looks on from the top step of the dugout. Also glancing out to a statuesque Jared Weaver bullpen in right field. No movement in the Long Beach arm barn. 2-1. That drop ball here misses low and outside. 3-1 count there. The LEDs at Blair Field shine atop a shadowed bowl diamond. Underneath, pink and purple pastel skies. A string of light red across center field. The next pitch misses low and outside. And this breezy evening gets a little more crowded as Oakland boards runners on first and second with 2 away in the top of the 6th inning. 6-0 deficit. Long Beach in the favor there. And welcome to the professional base path for Tristan Moore. His first time making it aboard as a pro. And Cam Buford pinch hits here for Oakland as manager Aaron Miles chats with home plate umpire Joe Shields. Buford digging in on the right side, 6'3", 195 pounds. The Chicago native is batting .268 on the year. And his 12 extra base hits have either been for 2 bags or for homers, knocking 6 of them on the season. He replaces Paul Winland at the designated hitter spot. Either one of them could come around at the plate next time up in the Pioneer League. It always necessitates the reminder that if you were replaced on offense, you can return on defense, and the designated hitter has some leeway. Tall stance for Buford. Lefty pitches to righty. Heater at the knees for a strike. And Buford has one of the more peculiar stances. It calls back to Craig Counsell, where he's standing up straight, waving the bat almost directly above his head, waiting for the pitch. There he goes, bringing that all-black bat and black batting gloves above his helmet. The 0-1 misses inside. The player is strung out like Gumby, ends up moving out of the way.
Well, we remember the days of Craig Counsell and Kevin Youkilis. I wouldn't say it's anything as extreme as that, but it's certainly an interesting place to start, especially where you have to draw your hands down to load back.
1-1. He swings and misses low and away. And there, dropped his hands down low, which probably helped carry him to try and chase after that pitch low and away, like you talked about. But it's definitely a stance that, for other players, might mess with the center of gravity. Buford, however, rocked with it last year for Oakland as well. Dixon nods, rears back, swinging a high chopper to third. Gloved by Easton Jones, the rookie steps on the hot corner for out number 3. Oakland threatens, boarding on a first at-bat double from Jake Allgaier. A Tristan Moore walk for his first professional free pass. But that's as far as they get. 6-0 Long Beach, moving on to the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-8-9 due up in Jones, Pappas, and Pitts when we return with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. On the way to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Long Beach is leading by that many, a 6-0 advantage as the Coast return to the plate. 7-8-9 due up against the new Oakland pitcher, the right-hander Christian Diaz. Leading off, it's Easton Jones, followed by Johnny Pappas and Robert Pitts. First one out of the stretch. Fastball called for a strike, low and away. Diaz replaces Tyler Bates after he tosses just 11 pitches for a third of an inning, allowing one hit, but no runs on his account, although he did inherit one. Again, the next pitch from the righty misses low and outside on the curveball this time. 1-1 count for Jones, looking for his first professional hit. 3 plate appearances as a pro, 1 on Sunday, 2 today. 2 walks, 1-1. Fastball misses high and outside, 2-1 count. Jones earning the free pass on Sunday after replacing third baseman Dylan Lena defensively and taking a turn at the plate. Now the BYU product stands over the plate on the right side. 2-1. He swings and fends that over the back netting for a 2-2 count. We talked about his dad, Mitch, who played 8 games with the 2009 Los Angeles Dodgers, but he spent time in 4 different farm systems for the Yankees, D-backs, Dodgers, of course, and the Atlanta Braves. Now his son, the Orem, Utah native, faces the 2-2, checks his swing and fouls it off to the on-deck circle where catcher Johnny Pappas bats at it with his twig, waiting on deck. Pappas singled his last time up. Robert Pitts in the 3 spot this inning, rounding out the batting order, searching for his first professional hit as well. The UC Riverside product making his debut today. High leg kick. 2-2, checks his swing at the curveball by his shoulders and holds up in time to move the count to full. And when you know it, Easton Jones is on the verge of another walk. Leadoff man Eddie Pelk has 77 on the season, chasing the Pioneer League record. Easton Jones is getting a head start. 3-2, fastball at the belt for strike 3. And Jones started unbuckling his shin guard, so with a head hung low, he saunters back to the dugout. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning, 6-0 Long Beach. The catcher Johnny Pappas grooving back to the plate here. He's 1 for 2. Base is empty for the Chino Hills native. Out of the stretch. Watches the fastball for a strike at the thighs on the outer half, 0-1 count. Long Beach has piled on 5 runs over the last couple innings. 1 run in the first, but a 3-run homer from Cuba Bess in the 5th, 2 runs last inning. He swings and sends that one to the backstop for an 0-2 count. Bess had the latest tick in that 5th inning, and RBI single to left field for his team leading 78th after Emilio Corona tripled around Cooper Vest. Now Johnny Pappas leans back. 0-2. Up high for a ball, but time was called before the pitch by home plate umpire Joe Shields, who rushed out of the way of that toss. Johnny Pappas credited with that timeout there, so the count remains 0-2. Pappas in funeral black down the arm sleeves underneath equally dark batting gloves. He sways in the righty box. 0-2, checks his swing, curveball up high. Did he go? Crew chief and first base umpire Scott Ginger gives the home crowd what they want, saying no, he did not. 1-2 count for Pappas. Diaz dangles the ball in his right hand, now crouches low and deals. Swipe and a miss from Pappas, chasing the curveball low and away. Back-to-back strikeouts to open up the relief outing for Diaz. The right-hander walking into his 7th appearance of the season at 0-1 on the season. Boasts a 12.38 earned run average. Now he takes on his 2nd rookie of the inning, Robert Pitts, waving the black bat over his back shoulder. From the stretch, he swings, rips that one on the ground right to second base where Nick Leahy gloves it and throws on to first for out number 3. As we creep on tonight, the Long Beach Coast move closer to victory, 9 outs shy. And Joey Miller will take you through every single one of those when we return on the Home Team Network.
Top of the 7th. Thanks for tuning in. Joey Miller, Jesse Cook, getting ready to take you through the final 3 innings of this 6-0 ball game. After a 4-0 shutout, Coast are looking to just rinse repeat to start off this series against the Oakland Ballers, their second of the second half. Nick Leahy, the first to face off against Jake Dixon, who took the mound in relief of Jack Martin, the starter, who's in line for the victory. Misses outside for ball 1. Leahy 0 for 2 tonight, both off of his bat. Dixon, high leg kick, and then fires to the plate. It's fouled softly up the third baseline for strike 1. Dixon faced 5 batters. In the 6th, he gave up a leadoff double to Jake Allgaier, but then just took care of business for the next 2 batters, allowed a couple more on, but the final one, fielder's choice that ended the inning. Next pitch fouled off to the first base side into the night that has now creeped over this Tuesday night Blair Field contest. A nice navy blue in the horizon. The field illuminated by the LED lights in the outfield. There is a strike 3 called. Backwards K on Nick Leahy, the second strikeout for Jake Dixon this afternoon. Kicks things off here in the top of the 7th. Brendan O'Sullivan now to the plate. He's had a couple of hard hits off of his lumber, one of which that got him to first safely, came all the way around to third. That was back in the 3rd inning, where the Ballers were most recently threatening, and now he gets this one on a sliding grab from Jablonski. Gets up, throws to first, it's not in time. Despite the Herculean effort on the outfield edge of the right field grass, Jablonski putting a good stop to that on the infield single. He kind of flopped up like a fish, making an accurate throw to first. We've seen some fantastic plays from Jablonski. I recall a couple from Sunday that held the perfect game in those first couple of innings.
That's right. He made a leaping snag at second on a line drive from Christian Castaneda.
Castaneda was eventually the one to break up that perfect game. After 13 straight were retired by Matthew O'Brien, he still gets his second professional win to close out last week. Now Isai Santos, top of the order with a runner at first and 1 out. The breaking ball heads right over the plate for strike 1. 1 for 3 this afternoon. A hard hit single into right center. That was back in the 3rd. Dixon settles in on the third base side of the rubber. Now goes at it with the 0-1, and that slider misses outside. And, you know, for Jake Dixon, his slider can be either really effective or really not. Sometimes it pulls a little bit too far outside to where the batter just sees that it's going to head maybe about 12 to 15 inches outside the zone. This one hard hit on the ground, first base side towards the Coast dugout. There's strike 2. But when Dixon can work his slider and work it well, it works wonders, especially on these lefty-on-lefty matchups. Usually ranging around that 12 to 15-inch horizontal break. If it stays tight and his release point is right, it's a perfect K pitch. The 1-2, there's that slider. A swing and a miss, a good example there of when it works well. Second strikeout of this inning, is 3rd in this appearance, and there's out number 2.
You call it a perfect strikeout pitch, and Jake Dixon listens. Evidently, Isai Santos did not.
He's retired for the 3rd of 4 tries tonight. Now Jaden Kalura up to the plate with a runner on, a 6-0 lead for the Long Beach Coast. Just before stretch time, the first pitch in the dirt. Johnny Pappas pops up quickly to keep it in his orbit. It's ball 1. Brendan O'Sullivan stays at first, being held on by Cuba Bass. Jake Dixon That right around the stomach. Looks at O'Sullivan at first. Now delivers to the plate. A line drive right into the glove of Easton Jones for out number 3. 4 batters up, 3 down, 1 stranded, and another 0 on the board for Jake Dixon. Sends us into stretch time, still 6-0 here on the Coast Media Network.